Y'all are welcome to the show. All right. Welcome to the show. Good night, everyone. Share up the live meanwhile. We're gonna give everybody a little 5 minutes to come in, and we shall begin at 5 minutes past 9. Right? I'm gonna share my entire window to the entire screen. All right. So we're doing May 2025 questions 3 and 4. Let's share the live. Share the live. Share the live. All right. Like up the live, everybody. Like up the live and share it. On YouTube, we have a few people on YouTube. So we'll start at 5 minutes past 9. So you could go and if all you had to use the toilet quick. All right. If you're going to go and get a compass and a graph book, do what you have to do quickly. Facebook will be joining us tonight. We have Facebook on the live tonight. FB on the live. All right, we have Facebook on the live, TikTok on the live, YouTube on the live. We start in 3 minutes, 3 minutes till starting time. All right, 3 minutes to starting time, right? Hey, Emmanuel, good night, bro. Preston, good night, brother. Hussein, what's up? Tonight is CSEC. We're doing CSEC every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. And we're doing SCA every Wednesday from 8 p.m. Thank you, Rishire. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, let's share the live, Share the live. We have 90 people on TikTok. We have 3 people on Facebook. I just put on Facebook, went live on Facebook so parents could probably see. And they'll go and tell the children, hey, how they go? Go on YouTube. Mr. Said live. That's the reason for going on Facebook, because I know that it really doesn't have younger people on Facebook. But I go live on Facebook so parents can see the live and they can go and wake up the children. Hey, y'all get up. Mr. Said is live. Okay, we begin in 2 minutes. May 2025 question 3 and 4 would be all the questions we are doing today. Right? We are only doing numbers 3 and 4. All right? 14 people on YouTube. Let's share up, like up. 94 people on TikTok. Let's share up the live, like up the live. Tap that screen. So just say information, right? It is 9:04. We begin in 1 minute. We'll be starting at 5 minutes past 9 every Tuesday and Thursday, but I will come live at 9 p.m. If you all don't see me by 5 minutes past 9, it means that I cannot make it, all right? Don't kill me, don't shoot me, right? It's just probably I had something pressing to do, right? But look out for me every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. for CSEC mathematics. And then look out for me every Wednesday for SEA mathematics, right? No, that's not Windows, right? So, right, we're going to begin. All the people on Facebook, tell a trend, Mr. Said live on YouTube. Let them go on YouTube, right? Let's see if we can get a Shawnee Road people. Let's share up the live. Starting in 30 seconds. You'll follow on TikTok, subscribe on YouTube, right? This is May 2025, paper 2. We are only doing numbers 3 and 4. Let's get it, right? Using a ruler, pencil, and a pair of compasses, construct the triangle PQR such that PQ is 9 centimeters, QPR is 60 degrees, and PR is 12 centimeters, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, right? You have to get your ruler first things first here, right? So you're going to take this ruler, right? And you're going to, let's establish a point, right? I'm going to put the point underneath here because I see the top line is 12 centimeters, so we might need a little space. So I'm going to put a point underneath here and I'm going to label it P because we're going to go from P to Q, right? So that's P there. So let's see what's going on here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our compass. Make sure you all have your compass, right? You're going to put the sharp end on 0, boom, and you're going to open your compass to measure 9 centimeters. This is what I want you all to do, right? Open that compass to measure 9 centimeters, okay? Do that for me. Then you're going to move this ruler now, right? We're going to draw a line. We need to draw a line here. So draw a line from P going to the right. So you're going to draw a line here. So boom, you're crossing 9 centimeters, Could go probably as far as 13, but you're drawing a line that you know is greater than 9 centimeters because we actually need to construct the first line, right? So this is the first step here. Put your point P, open your compass to 9 centimeters, and then you're going to place the sharp end on P. Boom. Right? So make sure you do this. And we're going to make an arc here to indicate where 9 centimeters will be, right? So this is what we're doing. Bang. Make an arc here. Boom. Right? So this line here will be 9 centimeters, right? And this point here where the arc and the line crosses would be Q. They said P to Q would measure 9 centimeters, right? So that's PQ there. Boom. Right? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to construct a 60-degree angle where Q, P, and R are going to meet, right? So this is how it's going to look. To construct a 60-degree angle, you're going to gauge where halfway is, and you're going to open your protractor to a little, not a protractor, sorry, your compass to a little more than halfway of the line, right? Lock it in here, and you're going to draw another arc. Now, there's two ways you can do this, You can draw the arc going straight up, right? And you actually have to estimate where you know a little more than 60 degrees would be. Or what some people actually do is you could draw, so I'm going to come back down here. You could draw an arc here, bow, right? And then you go up. Let me stop this here. Hold on. Right. So you draw a little arc there, right? And then you go up. You go up to where you estimate that 60 degrees would be, right? So we're going up. I don't know why my compass giving a little trouble here, right? So we're going up to where we estimate around 60 degrees would be, right? So bow, you make another arc here. So with this same distance between my sharp point and my pencil, right? You're going to come here now. So obviously, I want to show you something. Because I cannot draw another arc here that will cross this arc, I need to go back here. And I need to lengthen this arc, right? So this is the process here, okay? Lengthen that arc, and then I'm going to go back here with the sharp end, and I'm going to draw another arc so that my two arcs intersect. All right? Boom. So a line that comes from P and goes through this point here, this angle down here would measure 60 degrees. So I'm going to take my... wait, what going here? Wait, that's... I don't know why this point is not moving. Hold on. All right, we had to put back this arc here. This program does glitch a little bit too. All right, let me put back this here. Bow. All right. I'll put back this here. Bow. All right. So I have a line up there, but all right, let me draw it. So we come in here now. All right. So we're going to draw a line from P going through the point that we just made with the two arcs, right? And that line is going to measure 12 centimeters, right? So we go in here, bow, up to here, it would measure 12, right? Okay? So that would be my 12 centimeter mark up here. Now this line here came in, but if I back off, I would not get it to move, right? So maybe I could, all right, let me just put this here. Let me put this here. Bow. So this point up here would be R. Okay? And then we have to complete our triangle, right? So we come in here to complete our triangle. Boom, bang. All right. So make sure you line up the 2 points and you join a line from R straight down to where Q and this arc intersect down here. All right. So this angle here would actually measure 60 degrees. Okay? 60 degrees. Right? So comment yes. No. We start at that point. It don't need to be both ends of the arc. This is just a somebody's asking me what the software is. This is just something called construction tools that I'm using here. It's construction tools. It's a actual web page. Right? So this is a bow. All you ignore this line up here. These construction tool glitches, right? But why I use this one? It's one of the only actual software that we could use here via web page, and you see the physical compass here, so my children know what a compass is. You have the ruler, you have protractor. Look at, I have a protractor here, right? I can measure the degrees here to be 60. You'll see it is exactly 60. That's why I use this one, right? So everybody comment yes, we going. Yes, a little more than half speaker society. Very good. So let me go. So what we'll do now, all right, let me move this. We move any compass, we move any pen, we move any protractor, we move any ruler. I want to take a screenshot of this bow, right? Bow. Copy it, bow, and we're going to put it in place here. Bang. All right, paste. Okay. So we have our construction of our 60-degree angle and our triangle here, right? So let's go. Next one. So the diagram below shows quadrilaterals R and S, where S is the image of R under a transformation, right? So S is the image of R. R is the original shape, right? Is the object, okay? So what are they asking us to do? We can clearly see here, before I even asking us for, we can clearly see that this is an enlargement, right? So we're scrolling down to see what CSEC is asking for, right? So they said to describe fully the single transformation that maps quadrilateral R onto quadrilateral S. So we can clearly see that the transformation, so the transformation is an enlargement. What is this? Why this good? So, this on. All right, shapes. Hold on, All right, so let's move to little things here. Right, so the transformation is an enlargement right, of scale factor, right? So we need to find the scale factor, right? So look at the object and the image we have here. R is the object, S is the image, right? So we're going to look at two corresponding lines. So look at the lines we're going to look at, right? I'm going to be looking at this line here, which is the line at the base. This measures 3 centimeters. And then we're going to be looking at the corresponding line in the image, which measures 6 centimeters, right? So we have 3, we have 6 here. In order to get my scale factor, all right, my scale factor is going to be the amount, well, the centimeters, the length of the line in the larger, the image divided by the same line, the corresponding line in the object. So that'll be 6 divided by 3. My scale factor would be 2, right? So we're scrolling down. So the scale factor, an enlargement of scale factor 2 with, so I'm going to put here now with center of enlargement So we're going to find the center of enlargement now, which is actually one of the most important things that you need to do when you are doing an enlargement questions, right? Well, question. So let me do that center in, we're going in red again. So what you're doing here is you're going to line up corresponding points again, right? So this point here, this point underneath here, right, corresponds with this point here. So I start at the image, pass through the corresponding line, and I'm going to extend it as far as I could here, right? Okay, I'm going to extend it as far as I can. So let me see, I just want to extend it a little more here. So we're going up, bow, right? Then I'm going to line up 2 more corresponding sides, right? Sorry, vertices. So let's go to this here. And I'm putting it in red, right? We're looking at these 2 vertices, right? Starting at the, going through the object and extending, right? Bang. So I am already seeing the center would actually be here, but this line is a little off. So we're going to come down here, right? So my actual center of enlargement, this here, this point here would be my center of enlargement, right? So my center of enlargement would be the coordinates. If we look at what it lines up with on the x-axis, it lines up with 3, all right? So we go in here, 3, comma, what does it line up with on the x-axis, on the y-axis, sorry? It lines up with 7. So it lines up with 3 and it lines up with 7. So my center of enlargement would be 3 and 7. Now, you can go and line up all the other vertices, but you will get the same thing, right? It's actually just wasting time for me, right? You check two corresponding vertices, wherever they intersect, that will be the center of enlargement, right? So with center of enlargement 3, 7, right? Proper thing. Okay, let's scroll down. On the grid above, right, the grid on page 12 will be the grid we're looking at. Draw the image of quadrilateral R when it is translated by vector -4, 5. Name the image T. So we're going to make another image here, right? So we're scrolling up. So they want us to show you all the translation vector here, which will be -4 and 7, right? -4 moving to the left. And -4 means we are moving to 4 spaces to the left. And +7 means we are moving 7 spaces up, right? So we are moving 7 spaces up, 4 spaces to the left. So let's track one of the coordinates. And with one of the coordinates, we can actually build the whole shape of that one coordinate, right? So we're moving R. So we go in 7 spaces to the, not 7, sorry, 4 spaces to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're here, right? Now we have to go spaces up. Make sure you all do that in your graph page there, right? So we're going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this coordinate here would be here. So look at how this is May 2025. So look at how I'm going to build the entire image, the new image, which is that translation image of that one point, right? So this point here, this other point here, which is in blue, is actually 3 spaces to the right. So I'm going 1, 2, 3. So I'm here, right? Then I'm going 3 spaces up. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Then from here, I'm going 1 space up. Boom. Right? And to complete my diagram, I'm going diagonally to meet this point above here. Bang. So what did they say to name this translation here? They're going to name that image T. So this here is T. So we go in here, T, right? Proper thing. Okay? So let's see what the last part of this question is, right? No, they said T, not R. Somebody put R prime. 5 spaces up is 7, 5. Ooh. That's how this was the wrong number we write here. That's how. Let me fix that quick. Very good, Andrew. I know Andrew always following. -4, 5. That 7 I got was from the enlargement, right? So let me go. Okay, so we just erasing this part here. I'm going to move the whole image down, right? So we're going 5 spaces up. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we actually here. We are actually here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we here, right? So we just pull along this line here, pull along this here, right? Pull along this here, bow, pull along this here, bow, all right? So we just a little lower, right? Why this move? Why did this move? All right. Everybody good here? Let me delete these things here. Bow. Nah, that one can't delete. Bow. Bow. Right? So this is my translation. I moved -4, which means 4 spaces to the left, 5 up. Right? Let's go down. On the grid, on page 12, which is the same grid, draw the image of quadrilateral R when it is rotated 180 degrees about the origin. Name this new image M. So when something is rotating, right, it's going to be, so I want to erase this, right? Sometimes there's a lot of noise on the page and I need to erase in order to see what is going on, right? So this object here, let me put it in green. We go to another different color. Let's go in green. So we start in here and we go in 180 degrees to this side, right? Now, some points to note. When you rotate an object 180 degrees, how it looks is going to look upside down on the next side, right? Because we are basically rotating the whole thing, right? So I am going to draw some lines from the corresponding points here again. So we have this coordinate here. I'm going through the origin to the other side here, which is 180 degrees through the origin. That means this coordinate would be here, right? Once again, I could build this whole image of the object, right? You know the whole object is going to be upside down because it's making a 180 degree rotation, right? So I can actually go 3 spaces to the left. 1, 2, 3, bow, right? And then 3 spaces down. 1, 2, 3, bow, right? Here we're going to come 1 space down, bow, right? And then we're going to go diagonally down here, bow, okay? And we're going to label this M, right? This is my rotation of the object R, okay? It goes 180 degrees around to the other side, right? Now, sometimes what you can do is you can actually line up all the corresponding coordinates. So you see this lines up here. It passes through the origin, which is my center of rotation. And the same thing will happen for the other 2 points, right? But this would suffice, okay? Full marks for this, okay? So that's my rotation. You scroll it down. Going live on Facebook really don't make sense, eh? I can't end that live. I just say I'll go live here in case anybody parents see the scenes and want to tell their child to go, because it knows only parents let's be on Facebook, right? So we will live on Facebook. We deleted that too. That makes no sense. Right, there we go. The diagram below shows the straight line PQ, right? So we have a straight line here, P to. So keep the line there. Look at the coordinates of Q. Look at the coordinates of P. Let me drink some water here, right? Jeremiah, what's pressure here? Jeremiah on YouTube, what is pressure? Find the gradient of the line PQ, dog food, right? So the universe knows that the gradient of a line is written as common M, right? I want back blue. Common M, which is the gradient, can be equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? And that's when we have two coordinates. The two coordinates would be x1 comma y1, and the other coordinate would be x2 comma y2. So we need two coordinates from this line above here. So Faith already said that the gradient is 2, but let's get two coordinates here. So the coordinates of P would be, let's write it right here, it would be -2 on the x-axis, -3 on the y. That's my first coordinate. Scrolling up, Q here would be, look at what Q lines up with on your x-axis. It lines up with 3, 7, right? 3, 7, okay? So that's my two coordinates. So my y1 would actually be my x, and my y1 will be these two coordinates here, -2, 2, and y2. So we basically going to be doing 7 minus -3. This is going to be equal to 7 minus -3 all over x2, which was what, boy? X2 was 3 minus -2, right? 3 minus -2. Okay? Y'all like up the live, share up the live. Come on. Like the live earlier. That's how it is. That's how YouTube and TikTok promote the live, right? So like it up. Let me reach as much people as we can reach. There we go. Like it up and share it up. So this would actually be a minus and a minus is a plus. A minus and a minus is a plus here. 7 plus 3 would give me 10. And 3 plus 2 would give me 5. So my gradient for the line PQ would be equal to 2. Right? So very good, Andrew and Faith on TikTok, and A plus P on, Andrew and Faith on YouTube, and A plus P on TikTok. Very good, guys. Let's move. Write down the equation of the line PQ in the form y is equal to mx plus c. So those who are not familiar with what the equation of a line is and what the m and the c represents, if I have y is equal to mx plus c, obviously m is my gradient, and c would actually be your y-intercept. It is not the coordinates of the y-intercept. We're just talking about the value of y where the line is passing through the y-axis, right? So we're looking at some things here. Where is this line? What is the value of y when the line passes through the y-axis? That value would be 1. So c would be equal to 1. And we have the gradient. We already worked the gradient. We already did that. So this is 1. My gradient is 2. So let's work. Let's put in work. So this here would be y is equal to, instead of x, I'm putting 2. And instead of c, I'm putting 1. This here would be the equation of my line that is above here. Y'all share up the live, like up the live, please. Very good, Andrew. Very good, Faith. YouTube, like up the live. Like up the live, YouTube. All right, let you go. So, just 2 more questions and we're done here. Well, 2 more parts. They said the function f and g are defined as f of x is equal to x squared minus 1 and g of x is equal to 3x plus 2. So they want us to find g of negative 6. Now I know g of x is equal to 3x plus 2. If I want to find g of negative 6, it simply means that x is equal to negative 6, right? So I'm replacing x with negative 6 here and then adding back the 2, right? 3 multiplied by negative 6 would be negative 18. Negative 18 plus 2 would give me negative 16. That's the value of g to the negative 6 power. Very good, Andrew. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Right, so we're good. The inverse function g negative 1 of x, right? How I solve my inverses, you write down the original function first, right? So g of x is equal to 3x plus 2, right? For those who are asking what year this is actually May 2025. This is last year's exam. I told you all we are only doing question 3s and 4s. This Tuesday and Thursday, we did some 3s and 4s. Next week, Tuesday and Thursday, I'm doing some older papers though. I want to go back to like 2016 or something around there, right? For next week's classes. We're going to see what the questions used to be like back then. Okay, so we go in here. First things first, replace g of x with x and replace x with y. Then I want to make back y the subject. To make back y the subject, the first thing I'm going to move here is this plus 2. It goes to the left. What that becomes minus 2 is equal to 3y, right? At this point here, I need to move this 3 to the left. I am multiplying 3 by y here, so I do the opposite of multiply, which is to divide. So this will become x minus 2 all over 3 is equal to y, which means my inverse, therefore g negative 1 of x would be equal to x minus 2 all over 3. That is my inverse, proper thing, right? Proper thing. Very good, Jeremiah. Very good, Jeremiah on YouTube. Very good, Chrissy on TikTok. Very good, guys. You're making me proud here this hour. All right, let me go. Proper thing. Proper thing, right? Let me make some space here. Show that f(g) of x is equal to 3, open brackets, 3x plus 1, close bracket, then open brackets, x minus 1, right? So if I want f(g) of x, this is called a composite function. Anytime we need to solve a composite function, we are putting the second function, which is g, into the first function, which is f, right? So we are actually trying to find here f of 3x plus 2. 3x plus 2 being g of x, right? Look at up here, g of x is 3x plus 2. Now, f of x, so I'm going to put here when f of x is equal to x squared minus 1, right? Let me just confirm it's x squared minus 1, right? X squared minus 1. I am going to replace x now. You see this x here? I'm replacing it with 3x plus 2. Which means this x would be replaced by 3x plus 2. So what you work, we're going to put in here. So f(g) of x would actually be equal to 3x plus 2 to the second power. And then you have to put back CSEC minus 1, right? You must put back that minus 1 at the end there. Okay, YouTube. Okay, TikTok. So we go in. We need to do some expansion here. So let's get to work. 3x plus 2 by 3x plus 2 minus 1 at the end here, right? What people don't understand, right? What people really don't understand is when they see we doing these things here, you only keep hearing me saying the word, let's put in work. This preparing you for the world are working. This preparing you to sit down, articulate things, solve problems. There we go. So 3x is going to multiply by 3x, and it's also going to multiply by 2. So let's do that multiplication first. So 3x by 3x would be 9x squared. 3x multiplied by 2 would be 6x. Then we're going to take the second term in the first bracket, which is 2, multiplied by 3x. And then I'm going to multiply this by 2. Right? So this will be now plus 6x because 2 multiplied by 3x is 6x. And then 2 multiplied by 2 will give me 4. I had to put back the people minus 3, right? So this now would be equal to 9x squared plus 6x plus 6x would be 12x. 4 minus 3 would give me 1 minus 1. No, plus 1, sorry. Right? So what you're going on here, hold on, something off here. 2 2s are 4. All right, there you go. Right. So 9x squared, 3 2 6, 2 2s 4. Right. Yeah, that's the problem here. Here supposed to be, I done seen something off there. Because I want to factorize out this 3. My brain don't tell me the answer is 3 here now. It's minus 1. The answer is plus 3. So what I want to do here now is I want to factorize out the 3, right? So that means I'm dividing 3 into 9x squared to give me 3x squared. 3 into 12x would give me 4x. And then 3 into 3 would give me 1. Right? Yeah. Correct, baby cakes. Very good. Are they following? That's proper thing. I do that to see who was following. Right? Mariah obviously following. Avi obviously following. Right? Baby cakes and they following on YouTube. Right? Let me go. So you're going to do quadratic factorization here. I'm doing it right here. So I put back the people 3 in front here. Right? Now I'm going to multiply 3 by 1 to get 3. And then I'm going to put the 4 underneath here. What two numbers could multiply to give me 3, add or subtract to give me 4? Those two numbers would be 3 and 1, right? Plus 3 plus 1. So it's like I'm replacing 4x with plus 3x and plus 1x, which is s plus 1, right? So this will be 3 open brackets. I'm going to carry down this a little. Right? So 3 open brackets. In this brackets now, I would have 3x squared plus 3x plus 1x, which is just x, plus 1. Close bracket, right? So we go in there. We ain't done work. So this will be equal to now, right? This will be equal to, hold on, guys. This phone gonna die. I need to put a charge. Right, we in the game. Right, so 3 open bracket. Right, so this will be 3x squared plus 3x would be, you're factorizing out 3, right? 3 open brackets, 3 into 3x squared, well, you're factorizing out 3x. 3x into 3x squared would just leave me with x. 3x into 3x would be plus 1, right? Then you're factorizing the next 2. You bring down the plus in the middle here. The only thing that could go into x and 1 would be 1, right? So 1 into x would be x. 1 into 1 would be 1. And you're closing this bracket on the outside here, right? So this now would be, this is a long question, but 3 open brackets. I can drop the outer brackets, right? Because we go to factorize the 3x plus 1. And then in the other bracket would be x plus 1 here, right? This is exactly what they asked us to show. Box to indicate that it was show. Proper thing. All right, very good, Andrew. This is what they asked us to show up here. This is what we showed. Okay, now points to note. I want to show you all something, right? If you have 3 open bracket x plus 1 followed by 3x plus 1, it means the same. The answers are the same, right? Y'all like up the live, share up the live, please. Last question we're doing for the night. Last question here. Yeah, no more. We're only doing 2 questions per night, right? Next week we're doing some older papers. I did 2 recent papers this week. We're doing 2 older papers next week, right? Same questions, 3 and 4 next week, Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m., right? So solve the equation f g of x is equal to 0. So I'm going to put back what I found for f g of x, right? This here was my f g of x. This is what I worked it to be, right? So 3 open bracket 3x plus 1 close bracket x plus 1 is equal to 0, right? That's what it is, right? 3x plus 1, x plus 1, right? So there you go. This tree, because it's multiplication throughout, you can actually take this tree, carry to the side, do the opposite of multiply, which is to divide to get rid of that tree. So 3x plus 1 by x plus 1 would be equal to 0 divided by 3. Anything divided by 3 would be 0. So at 3x plus 1, x plus 1 here is equal to 0. So for any quadratic you are going to solve, you're going to branch off into two answers, right? So you're going to have 3x plus 1 is equal to 0, and then we're going to have the x plus 1 is equal to 0, right? Last thing we're doing here for the night, I see 85 people on TikTok, but we only doing 2 questions, right? I'm not trying to stress all out, and I'm not trying to stress myself out, because my days are very hard teaching in the school that I am at, right? So I just doing this to ensure that we are getting in our constant revision, right? I'm going to drink our water for that. So this here would be 0 minus 1. 3x would be 0 minus 1 is negative 1. You take the 3, you carry to the side. You are going to divide. So this will be negative 1 over 3. X is equal to negative 1 too, right? Carry negative 1, positive 1 here. X will be equal to 0 minus 1. X will be equal to negative 1. I found the value of x, well, the 2 values of x for this quadratic here, which meant that I solved the quadratic equation, right? So let's put a little message here, right? For anyone who wants continuous practice, right? So on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, right? We have 3 classes. We have Saturday, 9 to 11 a.m. We have Saturday, 3 to 5 p.m. Then we have Sunday, 12 to 2 p.m., right? These 2 classes, we are doing past papers, right? Well, when I say these 2 classes, I actually mean Saturday 3 to 5 and Sunday 12 to 2 is past papers. And in this class now, we are wrapping up statistics and heading to measurements, right? So we are doing measurements, right? And all this you can get for $300 a month, right? $300 per month. All these classes, right, per month. Okay? What's the number you're going to message for all the information? 2654389, right? For the freeness, for all those who want the free lives, we'll be here every Tuesday and Thursday, right? From 9 p.m., right? Okay? 9 p.m. 9 p.m. until we finish 2 questions, right? 2 questions per night, all right? Next week, we continue with questions 3 and 4, right? More than likely, I might do probably 2016 and 2017, right? So this is the info for anybody who probably wants to start classes. We have past paper just so basically for this 300, you're getting 3 classes per weekend, right? This is actually a steal of a deal. I don't this to the people. This is the people. I'm not teaching no SCA classes, right, guys? I'm just doing SCA classes free. I see people asking for SCA. Hey, Andrew, later, brother. I'll take only a little 15 minutes later, but as we go deeper into the questions, you'll realize the time will be a little longer, right? So everybody subscribe on YouTube, Keen Serrett Mathematics. Follow me on TikTok, right? Thank you for your time. It is 9:45. You could go back to some revision, right? I will see you all on the weekend, those who are in my class. And for those who are not in my class, I'll see you all next week, Tuesday, right? Take care of yourself. Peace and love. We are out. Mr. Seret is out. Let's end this live.